I'd have to say what I really enjoy about Happy State Bank is the morale that we have. Part of that goes back to the ownership that we talked about. Everybody understands as an owner, we're going to think like owners and not like managers, and we truly have each other's back each and every day. So that just the teamwork, everyone works so hard for each other, knowing that the ultimate goal is that each one of our customers is going to leave this bank knowing that we have given them everything we have as bankers to exceed any expectations they had out of our bank.
Let's call the meeting to order.
Mayor, I can promise you none of this was going on last week.
I'm sure Brian had complete control.
Yeah.
It was a business-like atmosphere.
That's good. We'll try and replicate that.
Cordial business.
Okay. We'll try and be friendly.
Much camaraderie.
It sure was.
All right. Well, let's just turn it over to the city manager to go through the agenda.
Thank you, Mayor. First action item today, of course, the minutes. One meeting from last Tuesday. Second item is the second and final of the rezoning for a specific use permit over here by the old refinery to allow the placement of a manufactured home. Kelly, any changes, comments, additions, deletions? No, sir. Okay. Mayor and Commission,
No comments last week on that.
Yes, there were three.
we had Commission comments on that last week.
Yeah.
We didn't have any ideas. You feel like I do about that. Nothing you can do about it.
No, there are some things we can do about it if we ever choose to tackle it as an item.
Read the minutes. Yeah, you should have been here or read the minutes, either one.
Yeah, I talked about the.
I'm on your side.
We don't have to chew the same meat twice, do we?
You want to do your cabinet twice for me?
Mayor, if I could, I'd move to item number 3.
Be a good idea.
I'm still on my game.
Yes, sir. You are. So you guys were nice last week?
No, not really.
Mayor, item 3, ordinance 7298. This is the second and final rezoning a tract of land down in what will be the new Redstone development south of Hollywood on Coulter to multifamily District 1. And, of course, this is an area that as of yet is undeveloped, but again would be the site of the new Redstone development.
Anybody got any questions about that?
Any changes, Kelly? Those are easy when there's nothing there to start with. Mayor, the consent agenda, item A, this is the acceptance of the Public Health Refugee Health Screening Grant. This is where we screen those brought into the community for communicable or infectious diseases. Of course, most predominant one that you're looking for and working on today is TB. This is an increase, and this isn't out of the goodness of their heart. It's based on the volume of work and the caseloads that's being managed in the TB area.
And the refugees are going to all, this whole region, all come through health department.
On the initial screening,
Right.
that's true.
So they're going to Hereford.
Then they belong to the state.
Just the initial.
Initial screening. And for our population served, it's the continuous part of the process.
Okay. So where'd they get their own goals?
Department of State Health Services, and I know their big offices in Lubbock, but I don't know how it's delivered at the local
Or in
level.
Dumas.
And they're working in Warren County
For me.
Hospital District.
I got it.
They do what now? They go through the hospital district?
Warren
You
County.
do, but
They're
the
in
hospital
Dumas.
district does it. A big part of that population's not on the county line. They're outside the city.
Yeah.
You get up to Cactus and
But
Enter.
that's still more than.
Yeah, it depends on how far the hospital district goes. So.
Yeah, well, I don't either. Item B, 6-month grant to support the Women, Infants, and Children program. Very active program here. This program is for Potter, Randall, Armstrong, Carson, and Oldham counties. And right now we're running just under 8,300 participants each month. You'll remember from the budget, this is one of those few grant-funded programs that continues to grow rather than to contract.
did they fall in the poverty level to qualify for this?
150%.
150%. Is it, what's the base level, 16,000?
I think it depends on
It's
family
based on the
size.
family size.
It's the HUD guidelines, right?
Yeah.
Wow.
And it depends on assets too. Like, don't they also, isn't there an asset?
I do not have a
I
resource
don't-
tester.
I
They do for Medicaid, but not for WIC.
Don't believe there's an asset test.
Okay.
What is
Strictly in income.
150% of poverty? What do you mean by that?
Well, for a family of four,
Uh-huh.
45. It's 45. I thought it was like 37, but yeah, you look at the family size and you use the HUD guidelines.
For example,
Uh-huh.
if the poverty level is 16,000,
Uh-huh.
they could enter the program at 20,000, it'd be 16, plus half, it'd be,
Would it be 24? Uh-huh. Okay.
that's 150% of poverty.
And it's different for the different counties. Those numbers and statistics in Oldham County will be different than they were for Potter and Randall.
Based on the 2010 census income guidelines.
Item C, Osage Water Treatment Plant SCADA upgrade. Remember that the SCADA is the big remote control system, the monitoring room that we went into that had the big computer monitors up where they're able to control the different parts of the system and to see what's going on. This is specifically, Emmett, for the part controlling the filter beds and the interaction with the reservoir.
Great.
And I'm very pleased to report, and very much brag on Emmett, Floyd, Tim, that whole group. The reservoir today stands at over 490 million gallons, just under 28 feet, so it's, for all practical purposes, full. And recall that twice this summer that reservoir's been pulled down pretty dramatically.
And you'll drop the level as we go into the winter months?
Yes, sir. Actually, we'll probably pull it all the way down and do maintenance on the membrane, and just look it over and make sure it's up to speed, clean it up. And pretty much have to do that at least every couple of years.
Because during the winter months, we can pump enough water in just with the...
From other sources, yes.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Well, during the winter, the demand on the system won't even be as high as the production from just the Carson County fields. You can really start to slow down, work on things, rest and rotate.
Because next year we're going to be dealing with a different set of standards for the water controls. The mandatory comes in at second stage.
On the conservation,
Yeah, the
contingency plans,
Yeah.
drought contingency plans?
Next year,
Yes, next year, if we were to enter any of those triggering events,
it would happen with what we had this year, it would be mandatory. Are we going to pull those ads pretty soon so that we start something different, have a different effect?
I've had some calls from one of our volunteer groups that wants to help with that, and it's probably we should. Go ahead, realtors, legal and voters.
Oh, okay.
You know, our original agreement with them, sitting on the table, the media, was to stop them at the end of August. So I just think we need to, that was kind of an informal agreement, so I think we could, talk about stopping at the end of September.
I think we have more impact if we stop them.
Yeah, I do too, because we're going to have a different message.
And
I
we
think
come
it's
back
not a
on,
problem.
April, maybe May, just.
Yeah, or do something
Well,
else.
we'd have to do something else then, because it'll be different.
Yeah.
If we
Yeah,
have to enact it,
different
it's going to be
campaign.
mandatory.
Yeah. You sure you want to stop using teams and us about Washington clothes?
I
That
just-
seems
it's
to be very
wonderful.
popular.
It's really good. I got
Yeah,
all
I
kinds of variety.
know you do.
So can we stop washing our clothes by hand?
Yeah, you
Absolutely
can
not.
stop washing your clothes. No, you're delicate.
In fact, I saw people doing that in Europe a lot.
Yeah, see, the European. I would say that I'm going to write a thank you note to all the media, general managers and news directors, and if I will share those names and addresses with you if you'd like to do the same.
They were tremendous help.
Well, Channel 7 produced it. That was a pretty costly deal.
Oh, yeah, it would have been really awesome. So,
And the newspaper.
If I may intrude, could you include KGNC 17 in that, because we had 3 one-hour call-in shows on water conservation.
thanks for reminding
And
me.
the newspaper, too.
Whose call-in show?
James Hunt.
Who's that?
James Hunt, 9 o'clock in the mornings.
You've been on those, haven't you, Emmett?
Sir,
You've done those shows, haven't you?
3 times this summer.
Yeah.
Well, I'll gather those names in the record and share it.
And then Suddenlink was the other one.
Thank you.
Next
Maybe
year.
And George.
Well, George is going to get my answer. George and the Globe and the station. I don't know who Suddenlink connection was. Oh,
That young lady that came in.
I can't remember who got that call. Vicki, did you gather something? What? Suddenlink connection? I can't remember where I got the, oh, I know where I got the. Oh, I think Mary Webb gave me Suddenlink connection. Okay.
Okay.
Next year, let's see if we can't push for that shower with the buddy.
Oh, okay, you'll get the shower with the buddy. Okay. And the whiskey with no water.
Right.
We got to raffle that on. Shower with 10%.
Fundraiser.
You'll have new material for this.
Oh, on and on.
Okay.
Is that one of those negative options? You pay not to have a shower?
Yeah.
I like kissing the pig.
That costs you more.
Okay.
Mayor, if we could move to item
No
D.
respect.
We keep needing to move.
Osage Water Treatment Plant boiler replacement. Not something to do with the treatment, maintenance, pumping, or other use of water. This is actually to help heat the building. After 45 years of service, this loyal and faithful unit is pretty much no more.
Gasping.
With your permission, we'd like to replace that.
Change order already? He wanted me to say.
I did warn everybody.
Ron Boyd did.
Ron, what did you say that?
Ron always object.
Item E, Potter County Wellfield Transmission Pipeline Project Change Order. This is change order number 2. This is S.J. Lewis Construction in Texas. This is the group that installed actually 2 different sets of the pipe, but this particular contract is for the big piece of the pipe. This is for work there at the 24th Street pump station. And this is an opportunity to change some of that piping in and around that yard, both for the interconnect that I think I've mentioned in the past that we would like to do, and also to allow him and his folks to move the water around amongst those storage tanks that are there, the big ground storage tanks, so that they can pull one down and work on it and still have water in the others, etc. So this is funded through the WIF, the Water Infrastructure Funding. I think some of y'all met the gentleman. This is the Texas Water Development Board lead on that when we were out there last Thursday. This is funding that has to be used on this project. We can't refund it when we're done, and we're getting close enough now to be able to see what the best use of that is to the ultimate long-term benefit of the system. Even with this change, this project is still a little over 29% below budget.
That's good.
Dean, if I could, let me grab item G and close out the change orders, and then we'll have Dean come up here and do the investment policy.
Michelle, please.
Or Michelle, come on up. Jumping to letter G, approval change order number 6, Potter County Wellfield Collection System Project. This is also S.J. Lewis. This is a separate project. This was actually putting the various lines in the well field, bringing all that piping back into the pump station that we saw. And previous changes on this one of them, of course, was a requested landowner-funded change order. We did that one first. This is the contract that we did the change order to get the 5 temporary well motors put in. What we're doing now is truing up that piece of the contract, adjusting the actual quantities for those 5 temps, putting in the meters, or metering devices and meters that we need. And the surface damages is actually fixing a fence that we need to fix for one of the landowners. This one's still under budget, just not near like the big contract is. No questions or comments? Let's jump back up and grab item F, City of Amarillo investment policy. We have to approve this annually, and Ms. Bonner is going to present it.
We've made very few changes in the policy. Page 1 was just clarification on the city. And then on the second page, we clarified some section numbers in there. I copied it over and put in some section numbers for reference from. We also changed our on our taxable munis from AA to AA-. That just allows us, if we'd like, if ADC issues any debt, that we can buy some of their securities. And then we added language on page 3.
There's 2 page 3s.
Yeah. I have 2 page 3s.
Yes, there is. On the second page 3, we added language that
That's right.
Red
Multiply.
writing.
3B, that we would diversify in our money markets. Right now we use mainly Fidelity for our money markets, but we're going to like to open up accounts at Wells and at Frost. We have depository accounts at Wells, and we do our safekeeping at Frost. So just to diversify where we have our investments. It'll be the same type of investments, treasury and governmental investments, the high-yielding ones.
If for some reason we couldn't get at the Fidelity, we have 2 other shots at it.
And then I think the last, change, we've added Frost Bank and Merrill Lynch as approved brokers. Frost, because we're doing our safekeeping there, and Merrill Lynch, we do some sweeps with Bank of America, and Merrill Lynch is now part of Bank of America. So just clarify that. And on ADC, we have a limit of 190 days. Like to change that. No, 180 days. Like to change that to 190. We've been using some of the cedars, and they go out 6 months.
What are cedars?
They're certificates of deposit, and it's a program that we can do through Bank of New York, and we can invest more than $250,000. We could invest $1 million, and they split our CDs between different depositories, so we're under the FDIC insurance.
It's one-stop shopping.
And
Instead of
they give you
They share the risk.
more than 100,000
right, I think it's 250. It got changed to 250.
Oh, it did?
Yeah.
A couple years ago.
Well, I feel better about my checking account now.
You're good, huh?
$250.
Yeah, they're not talking about $2.50.
And I think I'm skipping around, but on page 8 also we clarified had some name changes from the last year. Just clarified who are the investment officers.
Does Frost Bank have Frost National Bank have a branch or anything in Amarillo?
No. And that we just do our safekeeping of assets there, and then we also do security loans. And those are programs that are not offered here locally.
Lovely building and office.
They have a golfing building else.
As always, good job. I just want to know, have you started teaching these courses yet instead of more to go take them?
No, ma'am. I take them every year.
They should both be teaching.
Yeah, they should be teaching.
Are you bankers? You're happy with this?
I'm not a banker, never was a banker. I was employed.
Yeah, it's a good mix.
He said that for years. He hasn't convinced anybody yet.
You notice I didn't even say that I work for a bank, because he said employed.
Yes, we know. We understand.
He's understanding.
Yeah.
Yeah, good report.
Mayor, if we could, we've got a few closed session items